Okay. Okay, before I start the presentation, allow me to give you some background information about myself. My name is Xenia Neophytou, and I'm the founder of CX Financia, a consulting firm in Cyprus, specializing in corporate and compliance services. I have a background in finance and accounting and have been involved throughout my career in various managerial positions in all aspects of corporate services, company law, international taxation, and financial and regulatory compliance. I'm a chartered certified accountant, a holder of the CISEC Advanced Certificate, and a certified trainer of vocational training and certified mediator for financial differences. I'm an active member of the financial services community, participating in the technical committees for the funds of CIFA and EPAC, and a board member of the Cyprus India Business Association. I'm very excited to be here with you today and looking forward to your interaction that will follow at the end of the presentation. In my last presentation on the previous webinar of Great Britain Cyprus, I have talked about the financial services in Cyprus and highlighted the growth of the funds industry in Cyprus. Today, I will talk about the Cyprus funds in more detail. Over the past few years, Cyprus investment fund industry has been developing rapidly with steady upwards growth trend, even during the COVID-19 crisis. We witnessed positive attitude from asset managers towards Cyprus as a new, robust and flexible fund and asset management jurisdiction, allowing Cyprus as a market to continue to grow, with new funds being raised and new promoters interested in bringing their business to Cyprus. In the following slides, I will provide you with an overview of the types of funds and the regulatory framework relevant to Cyprus alternative funds and highlight the benefit to investors. So let's see first, what is a fund? In a nutshell, a fund is a collective investment undertaking which raises capital from a number of investors with a view to investing that capital in accordance with with a defined investment policy for the benefits of those investors. In this slide, we see there are two major types of collective investment schemes: the undertaking for collective investments, the UCITS, and the alternative investment funds, AIFs. In the table you see in this slide, we compare the main features side by side. In broad terms, UCITS are more suitable for retail investors, are subject to more restrictions in the assets invested, such as transferable securities or other liquid financial instruments, generally are lower risk safe products, and have generally low performance. AIFs, on the other hand, do not limit themselves on the type of assets. All types of investments are possible. The word alternative simply denotes that such investment funds may follow an investment strategy beyond that considered conventional, and in particular, an AIF can be private equity fund or a venture capital fund, a hedge fund, or a crypto fund. AIFs generally have higher performance than UCITS, but are more risky. In Cyprus, AIFs are more common, so in the next slides, I will provide an overview of the AIF and identify its main characteristics and requirements. Okay. There are three types of alternative investment funds that can be set up in Cyprus. The alternative investment fund of unlimited number of persons, the AIF, the alternative investment fund of limited number of persons, AIF LNP, and finally, the registered alternative investment fund, the RAIF. It is important to note for AIF LNP, investors may not exceed the total number of 50, whereas for AIFs and RAIFs, number of investors can be unlimited. Investment restrictions may apply according to the type of the AIF. Finally, RAIFs in Cyprus do not require licensing by CISEC, but require to be managed by a regulated external manager. RAIFs are registered within 1 month from submission of the relevant notification package to CISEC to confirm the registration of the RAIF and allow the raising of capital. In terms to the legal forms, an AIF may be set up in one of the following ways: as a common fund, as an investment company in the legal form of a limited liability company with shares, fixed or variable capital, and as a limited partnership. Cyprus AIFs can be set up as an umbrella fund with more than one investment compartment. The umbrella funds afford investors a level of flexibility to switch investment strategies. It is important to highlight that each compartment or sub-fund is ring-fenced and fully segregated from the umbrella fund and the other sub-funds. Each compartment's investors' rights are restricted to the assets of the compartment. Each sub-fund can be dissolved separately. Each compartment or sub-fund can have its own investment strategy. Also very important, the setup and running cost of each sub-fund is lower than separate funds. We now move to see who are the stakeholders involved in an investment fund. In broad terms, we have three main key stakeholders or key players. First are the investors or the fund's unit holders. Just as the company has shareholders, an investment fund has unit holders. A unit holder is an individual or legal entity that makes a payment into a fund by purchasing a unit in that fund. By doing so, the unit holder becomes an investor and an owner of the fund. The second key player is the fund manager, who is responsible for managing and administrating the fund and decides where to invest the fund's assets. Each fund is managed by a single manager, although a manager can manage more than one investment fund. The third key player is the fund depository. It is responsible for ensuring the custody and safeguarding of the assets that make up the fund. The depository can be a bank, a savings bank, a securities company, or any other financial institution authorized for that purpose. So we are now going to see some examples of who can benefit from setting up a fund. Funds are traditionally being used as an alternative method to bank financing. They are used to finance large-scale investments such as real estate and shipping, and their investors may not really be interested in being involved in the day-to-day management of their investment, but rather seek a good return on it. Some examples include venture capital firms, which fund several different types of businesses, from dot-com companies to biotech and peer-to-peer finance companies. They generally open up a fund and take in money from high net worth individuals and then invest that money into a number of smaller startups known as the venture capital funds portfolio companies. Another example is family office, which usually find that by using a fund structure, they can manage the family wealth in a more flexible and transparent way, which avoids potential conflicts when the investors are unrelated and ensures agreed investment policies are adhered to. High net worth individuals, in seeking to achieve asset protection and tax optimization, are replacing their traditional holding companies with a more tax-friendly and professionally managed fund structure. Finally, non-EU fund managers wishing to raise capital in Europe as well as to develop a presence in the European market can benefit from fund hosting from a European fund manager, IFM, and distribute their funds to investors in all EU countries. So why should an investor choose Cyprus, and what are the main benefits in comparison to other EU countries? In today's world, where we see a shift away from the unregulated jurisdictions, Cyprus, as an EU-regulated jurisdiction, offers credibility to a fund structure. It is geographically located between three continents, Europe, Asia, and Africa, which allows Cyprus to act as a footbridge between Europe and the emerging Middle East and African markets, as well as the attractive Asian economies. The IFMD management or marketing passport, the low setup and running costs, the new modern and flexible laws and regulations for funds strike a good balance between adequate regulation and flexibility of fund management. The regulator and the industry closely collaborate to understand changes in the industry and follow the new trends such as the blockchain technology and digital innovation. Cyprus is also a top emerging fund center in Europe with visibility enhanced by being able to list Cyprus funds on international platforms such as Bloomberg, Clearstream, and Morningstar. It is expected that the Cyprus financial services sector will continue to expand in terms of style, reputation, and attractiveness, and by resilient regulatory framework, prudent supervision, consumer protection, and strong money laundering prevention mechanisms. Okay, so from fund creation, the idea to reality. At CX Financia, we help translate any fund idea into reality from A to Z. Our consultants have a proven track record and ensure all processes, including choose ones, are simplified and adjusted to the last detail. From the inception of your fund, our team will always look for solutions and ensure that our advice can be integrated into your business model practically, efficiently, and in a cost-effective manner. We discuss with you the idea and convert the idea into a fund structure. We help in choosing the suitable type and structure to establish a new fund by considering your needs, tax system, and the regulation. We promptly prepare the necessary documentation for the incorporation of the investment fund, draft the prospectus, business plan, and procedures manual, and other relevant documents to complete the application process and support in dealing with SISEC pre- and post-authorization. We offer to our clients and partners a range of services, including investment funds licensing, corporate and secretarial services, internal audit, risk management, compliance and regulatory reporting services, or other bespoke services tailored to your needs. We have close collaborations with all key fund players, and we assist our clients and partners with the selection and appointment of non-executive directors, external auditors, legal advisors, as well as custodian or depository as needed. Thank you. That was the end of my presentation. If you want to know more about our services, feel free to log into our website or to follow us on LinkedIn or Facebook. If you need more information on Cyprus funds or fund managers, feel free to give us a call or send us an email, and we'll be happy to answer all questions.